Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Clarity Social TV and a happy Christmas to everybody. How is everyone? My name is Paul Church from Clarity Craft here in the UK, and today, for the second hour, we're joined by the lovely Deborah Wheeler. Hello, Deborah.
Thanks. Hi, Paul. Hi, everyone.
So we had a good hour at 10 o'clock, didn't we?
Yeah, well, we enjoyed ourselves. Hopefully everybody else at home did as well.
Yeah, definitely. I can see we've got some friends joining us already, so we'll just have a little bit of a chat. So this morning, we managed 2 demos in the hour. I know, which
that's
was
a record
really good
for me.
Yeah, and we went slightly over the hour, but that's the way that it goes, doesn't it? You don't want to sort of stop and go, right, that's it.
That's it.
Switch,
End
turn the
off
plug
now.
off. So, what we're going to do is do a little bit of housekeeping first. Maybe you're tuning in for the first time. So we'll tell you how you can order. There are different ways. You can go to the Clarity Craft website, the telephone number. So what I'll do first is I'll bring up one of the products onto the screen. Okay. So when you look at the product to the left of your screen, you've got a 5-digit number at the top. So this bundle is 21155. You then have an image of the product itself, and then it has a title and description. Now, underneath that, you'll see that there's several prices. The RRP has been struck off. You've got a fantastic saving of £38.98. And what you'll pay for this collection is £58.46. However, I always say that, however.
But that's not all.
No, if you belong to any of our Clarity Craft clubs, whether it be Stamp, Stencil, Groovy, whether you belong to 1, 2 or 3, if you belong to one of those, you'll get an additional 10% off that price. If you belong to 2 of them, you get an additional 12.5% off. And then if you belong to all 3, it's an additional 15% off as well.
We should have done the maths over lunch so we knew where that took
Okay,
us.
so if it's 50, I'm going to do it very roughly. So
10% is another £5.80.
Yeah, and so half of 580 will be
290.
290. So 580 and 290 is 7. It's about £8 off. So basically, you're paying, if you're a diamond club, about £50 for all of that. And if we have a look, what you're going to get in this current collection is this is Barbara's Elves letterboxes, billboards, and ABC A5 stamp and die collection. So one of those stamp sets, for example, this one here, an A5 stamp set, that is normally £19.99. But we are in the midst of our Grey Friday week as well. So this is why we were able to bring it to you at a fantastic saving. So each of the stamp sets, the A5 stamp sets, also come with their masks. So you've got the letterbox elves. You've got underneath that, you've got your billboard elves. Then to the far side, you've got your ABC alphabet. Then above that, you've got your mini sentiments. And then you have the 2 sets of dies as well. And what they do is they allow you to cut out the different images.
The stamped images.
The stamped images, absolutely. So if we just clear the banner that lovely Sheila created for us off of the overhead. And I thought what we could do is have a look at the designs in a little bit more detail. So let's have a look here. So if we have a look, there we go. So this is the letterbox stamp set.
Yep.
And this is the elves, and each of them are holding a letterbox.
Hey,
okay.
Who'd have thought?
Hence the name. And the idea behind that is that you can group them, you can create rows of them, you can spell out a person's name or a sentiment, but you also get these little mini sentiments that fit perfectly in each of these letterboxes. Okay.
And we're going to have a look at both of those. I'm going to do a demo, hopefully, with single letters in the boxes, and I've got another one using a mini sentiment as well.
Super. Okay. Then you've got the billboard stamp set.
So these are much bigger. Two main stamps, aren't they? With the
2
with
main
all of the
and then
accent,
all the different little accents. And these are great for like building little scenes in if you want.
Or just popping your sentiment in them.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you take, for example, these 2 sets of stamps and you combine them with the dies, this is what you get. Okay, I'm rubbish at fussy cutting. You know, like where you have to cut round and create that equal white line all the way around the outside. I'm rubbish and next thing I know, I'm up against the black line.
Yeah.
So I think, why do I bother?
It's tricky.
So to have the dies is a great way.
Well, especially for these smaller ones, I always think smaller stamps are much harder to fussy cut.
Yes.
Anyway, because you haven't got as much room to manoeuvre. But they're brilliant and they're perfect. And for me, I'd always stamp first, then die cut, because then you can see your stamped image through the die.
Yeah.
And then line it
for
up
positioning.
Exactly for positioning.
Yeah. So I mean, for example, those lovely little here
Let
are
me just
the
slide
elves.
these upwards and then we can see those clearly. I'll try not.
So this one is from Debbie McMullen. Now this is completely flat, so she's taken those letterbox elves, but this doesn't look like a little elf.
There's two.
It looks like a little gnome. So also on the show, we also have Barbara's Feel Good Gnomes, letterboxes, billboards, and ABC A5 stamp and die collection. So we've got 3 different design elements. We've got the elves, we've got the gnomes, and we also have the penguins.
Yeah.
And when we look at all the different configurations, you'll see that it's the same concept throughout the design. So it's just the characters that change, isn't it?
Yes. So they've all got the billboards and the letterbox and an alphabet in a different font.
Yes.
And a set of mini sentiments. None of which are duplicated. They're all different.
So if you've gone for the gnomes, for example, and the elves with those savings, then you could take the elements and mix and match them. And this piece of artwork from Debbie McMullen shows how they work beautifully together. They don't look out of place or anything, do they?
No.
And she's used those little mini sentiments. Merry Christmas from ours to yours, sending love and best wishes.
Yeah, that's so cute.
Okay. So I thought what we'd do, we'd have a look, because maybe you're into your groovy, because we've also got the same designs in groovy, and they also work with the dies.
So the dies will cut out your parchment.
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe if you're not into your picot cutting just yet and you like these designs, then you can obviously work completely flat on your parchment like you would normally, and the same with the stamping, but you can also use those dies to cut them out as well. So I thought what we'll do, let me just move this out of the way so I can get my little crib sheet of the items I need to bring up on the screen. So what we're going to do, we're going to move this one out of the way from the overhead, and let's have a look. If you want to go for everything, for example, so let me have a look. So this is the elves collection. Okay, so you've got all of those stamps and the dies, plus you've got the addition of the 3 A5 groovy plates. Okay, £68.20 for that collection. Go on.
We were looking at that earlier, and without a Craft Club discount, that's only another tenner for those 3
extra groovy plates. Yeah, so that's the elves collection. Then we've also got for you the gnomes as well. So this is where the collection all started, really. It was all doodled in the shack. Yeah, so these were the Feel Good gnomes. And you had to say good like that. So you've got Barbara's. I can. So the item number for this complete collection is 21152. You're saving £68.21. And even if you're not in the club, it's better than half price. It's £68.20. Okay. Then finally, we have it in the penguins. So you've got the same configuration. You've got your letterbox penguins, your billboards, another lovely alphabet, the 2 die sets, the mini sentiments, and the 3 groovy plates as well. So maybe you're thinking, oh, I'm not sure what to go for, and maybe I want to go for one or go for the other. When you look at that saving, if you went for 2 of them, it's like buy one, get one free, isn't it? Because you've got that fantastic saving on there. Then you add on the Clarity Craft Club discounts as well. Now, for some of our friends that are sort of tuning in, there's so many different options available. And I could spend literally a whole hour just showing you on the screen, which is really boring, on the various different options. Okay, so I thought what we'll do is we'll bring up the website on my iPad and I'll show you exactly where to find all this information. So we'll just wait for that to come up like so. And what we'll do is we'll go back to the elves like so. I'm going to bring in the iPad. So you can see here, Grey Friday up to 60% off. Now we kicked this off on Monday afternoon with Barb at 2 o'clock. You can see what's coming up. This is today's shows. Craft Awards, if you wanted to, you could click there and give us a little vote.
I voted.
Have you?
I have.
And then if you go to Clarity TV, just there, like so, you can see all the products relating to this show. So you can see there you've got your stamp and dies, you've got your Groovy with your dies, then you've got that mega bundle if you want the stamps just on their own as well. Okay, so you can just scroll down and have a little browse. Maybe you just want the gnomes letterboxes just on their own, or the billboards. It's all about having choices. Okay.
It's always worth taking that time just to have a browse through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Over a cup of coffee.
But you know what happens is that you click on here, for example, and you go there and you have a look at that and you go, oh, look, it's just jumped in my basket. And then you go, how did that happen?
Isn't that the kind of on Clarity Worldwide, the quote is usually because Paul made me.
Paul made me or Barbara made me. So you can start taking the blame now. So if we go here, catch up and craft, click here, what you'll also find is this is the current show. This was the show from 10 a.m. this morning, but we've now started to introduce demo downloads. So if I click on this one here, like so, what it does, it gives you the time and the date of the show, what the project was called, what was made during that demo, and a list of ingredients, what Deborah has used. And you can print them off. So during the 10 a.m. show, Deborah did this one, which was Sending Happiness. And that's using our lovely Christmas papers in the background. And it has a list there of everything that Deborah used. We also looked at the gnome billboards as well. So, and you went a little bit darker this morning in your sky, didn't you? More wintry rather than summery.
More wintry colours,
And that's using some of the lovely Linda Williams stamps from the tree. And then sort of spoiler alert, this is what we're going to look at for this during the course of this hour. And I saw this when Deborah sent it through and I thought, ho, where's that come from? Well, all will be revealed. And then for the second demo of this hour, we're going back to those cheeky little elves and the letterboxes, and we've got happy, and then we've got Christmas. Okay.
And can I just say as well, so I have a blog, I try and blog a card every day. So all of these cards will feature on my blog over the coming week. As a full-blown step-by-step. So sometimes it's nice to watch the video, but I'm conscious that sometimes in the shows we kind of skip quickly over steps just because of time. So you've got that as an added place to go as well.
Okay. And also, I got these out of the box earlier, these lovely little mini crackers, because these, let's bring it in on this one. Look at these.
They're just gorgeous.
They are absolutely amazing. So if you've gone for the elves or the gnomes or the penguins, you can either die cut them and attach it to your little cracker, or you can stamp them on. Look at that. So these are great for little table presents on Christmas. Wedding favours as well, the cracker itself.
That's a good idea.
And then this one here, done by D, like so. So if you like the look of our little cracker, I've got it hiding here somewhere.
Here we go.
So the item number for that cracker is 31186. And it's just, I did also, we do our self-adhesive felt.
Yes.
We designed, not that one. I did a little felt die cracker.
What a great idea. I saw that earlier and I wasn't sure what you'd used for it.
So with the
self-adhesive, that backed onto paper?
Just on copy paper. Yeah, so obviously it's then no longer self-adhesive. So they make lovely little crackers. If you're into your parchment craft, you can do them in parchment as well.
That's beautiful, isn't that so
really,
pretty?
Really nice.
So pretty with the
we've recently been
words.
looking at grid work.
Embossed.
So this is a little
word.
one from Glynis. So the crackers that are really good, but they can be used for what's it, like table favour. If you've got like a smaller Christmas tree somewhere in there.
Tree decorations, like, because you can pop them onto the branches as well on a small Christmas tree as well, or
so,
around the bottom.
Apparently, it's just coming to my ear via the phone now. Sue and Jackie have both done Deb's demos from this morning with Linda's tree and loved the results.
Oh,
wow,
fantastic!
That was super quick delivery.
Thank you, ladies.
So it's lovely. And don't forget, share the videos that we're bringing to you from Clarity Social TV. Share the Shack episodes. Maybe you're in craft groups or you go to craft groups. Spread the word, spread the Clarity love. And I know you belong to a number of various different Facebook groups.
I do.
And Deb's always puts in there. Jane Telford, she in the Lou Withers group as well. She's always sharing there. Because you can watch various different ways. So you can watch via the Clarity Craft YouTube page. You can also watch via the Clarity Crafts Facebook page. And if you go to the front of the Clarity Craft website, you can watch direct on the website as well. So you can watch live when we are live, in all of those places.
There's no escape.
There is no escape. But sometimes we sort of like, we could be at home watching and the doorbell goes or a phone call comes in and you think, oh, I've got to stop now, I'm going to miss it. You can go back, especially on the front of that website where you go into the Clarity TV, you can go in and then think, right, okay, don't worry, I'm not going to miss anything. I can go back, watch it, whatever. Maybe you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't sleep and you're looking for, or you've lost some inspiration and you think, oh.
Are you suggesting it's a cure for insomnia?
No. I think it's a distraction, a very happy distraction.
It's true.
You put your earphones in.
Just watch.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know many of our friends at home with technology the way that it is now, YouTube, you can watch that on your TV.
On a smart TV, it's available as an app. It's
that's the way that I watch
easier.
YouTube on my TV. It's just a little app, you just go into it and then you
just find Clarity Crafts.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you'll just lose sense of all time completely because you'll watch this one, then you'll watch the next one, then you'll watch the next one. Yeah. So, okay. So I think to order, I forgot the name, but order at claritycrafts.com, or you can give our call centre a call over.
There we are. It's like Strictly, isn't it?
There we go. 01732 868 215. So the hours for the telephone are from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. UK time. We do ship internationally as well. So maybe you're tuning in from Europe, the States. I know we have many friends over in Australia tuning in. So don't worry, we've got you covered here at Clarity. So what are we going to look at first? Should I just clear the text?
Should we just do a sweep?
Yeah.
I don't want to damage these crackers.
Pop them on there. There we
excellent.
go.
Good idea.
I've got my little tray for my crackers. Okay. So this is rather lovely.
I don't know who this is. Norman
the Gnome.
Norman the Gnome with a G, obviously. I do think they should all have names. I blogged on with one of the little, what looks like a female gnome yesterday and called her Norma with a G.
Norma. I think they may have had names. I know there was Be Good, Feel Good, and Do Good.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Of the original set. Feel Good gnomes. Yeah, because we do have other gnomes in the collection. If you just put gnomes in the search bar, you'll see
come up with a host of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I was coming up with Norman, Norbert, Norville.
all beginning with G. Yeah.
Anyway, people who've seen what I do before will know that I like kind of clean and simple and unfussy cards.
Yeah.
And I think Christmas is a time when we're often making lots of cards, and you'll want those special ones for nearest and dearest, and people that you want to send something that's really taken a lot of time and investment.
Yeah.
But equally, people often want cards that don't take quite so much time because you want to make volumes.
Yeah.
Particularly because Clarity's an angel company.
Yeah,
if you're making to sell.
Definitely. Well, you've been telling me how much money you've made
I know.
You went to a meeting yesterday.
I went to a work meeting with a bag of Christmas cards and sold all but 6. People just fell on them and bought them all.
Wow.
Which was wonderful. But Clarity being an angel company is fantastic because you can do
make
that,
to
make
sell,
to sell.
And there's still time for Christmas fairs up and down the country as well. So if you go there, and because you've got that alphabet stamp set in the collection, you can personalize as well. So you imagine you've got a folder, maybe one of the Clarity Fresh Cut folders or one of the Clarity stamp folders that's got all different sections in it. You could spend an evening stamping and die cutting all those lovely little cats. You could have one for your elves, one for your gnomes, one for your penguins in all different configurations. Pre-color them in if you want to, and then when you go to your craft fair, you could have your sample up that says Norman the Gnome with a G, and then somebody can put personalized greeting cards, and then you've got your alphabet, and you can
just add it in.
Yeah, that's really good.
Result.
Okay. Ho, ho, ho. So what are we doing here?
So just a quick little card using the what are these called? Letterbox gnomes.
Letterbox gnomes. Okay.
And a little backing strip that intrigued you.
It did indeed. Now, would this be from one of our latest releases, our lovely Christmas papers?
And you can spot it on the
front cover.
On the front. Because when you get the whole piece out, it looks... I've been wondering how to use it because it looks really busy. I don't mean that in a...
No, you mean, wow.
Because it's printed all over. But then I thought, oh, ho, 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 there's a little ho, ho, mini sentiment.
In the stamp.
In the stamps.
Yeah.
And I thought I can use that as a sentiment banner.
Oh, so all of a sudden you can
chopped a strip,
slice that up, and you've now got like ribbon.
How many cards can I make out? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 12.
Wow.
And probably 2. You could get like 24
and
cards out of a sheet.
It comes in different colourways as well,
There's
doesn't
4
it?
colourways in each. Do you want to open mine?
Yeah. Okay. So if you're interested
here.
in those, I mean, these are lovely backing papers. The item number for these are 31713, and they will be in the Grey Friday sale as well. So if we just have a look here, you can see all the lovely different designs. Those Christmas trees are nice.
They are.
Look at those houses. Really. Okay, so we've got that colour. No, that's not ho, ho, ho.
They're nearer
the front.
There we go. 1, 2. Those 2 colours.
Those 2 colours. So you've obviously you've got the green there.
I've got the green here because I'm going to use the green.
So it's a really lovely. I can't see my hose from my O's.
Oh ho.
Not oh. You could go oh. So you've got that lovely sort of craft colour card. The blue. You've got your rich green and your rich red as well.
It's kind of almost, it's a burgundy almost, isn't it? It's lovely. And so they're not what I'd call the kind of obvious routine Christmas colours. They're just a bit of a twist on the tones.
Yeah, so they're not your, as you say, they're not your sort of your traditional reds and your traditional greens.
Those bright,
they're more like a vintage colourway, aren't they?
Yeah.
But
of course, they're all four colours for each design are the same tones.
Colour. Yes.
So you can then start to mix and match stuff up. This one would be fantastic, wouldn't it? With the Jim's Christmas jumper stamp, and then use that as the
pattern on the jumper.
Pattern, bit of paper piecing.
Yeah, that'd
cool.
be easy, that one. And earlier on, we looked at this one, didn't we?
I did that
with
a
little bit of perga glitter on.
Yeah.
And I think one of my favourite ones is this one, this feather.
That's lovely.
I really, really like that one.
When you get these, if you get them, or you've got them already, it's actually worth getting them out and having a proper look through them.
Yeah.
So you've got the little vignettes on the front of the pack, but that just gives you a taste of what's in there.
Yeah.
I think it's worth getting the pack out and then actually going through it and properly
See, that's
looking
not
at what they are.
necessarily for Christmas.
No.
That could be it. And you could do that. So if you turn it that way,
you could cut strips.
You've got to cut strips again on that. This is like Barb's starflower stamp.
Oh, the ones that she
used
had
to
on
build a scene on Monday.
Monday, yes.
Yeah.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah. So you got those. Let's have a look at the designs. You've got those ones.
Feathers.
You've got the feathery ones. I really like those ones in those 4 different colorways. Then this was the one that you used this morning as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. So that was this one.
Yeah, look, that's all Deb's got left. I think you need to go shopping, Debs. They're in the sale, up to 60% off.
You should have said.
Then you've got your Christmas trees.
These are cool because the Christmas trees go in opposite directions. So actually you've got lots of options as to which way round. That one doesn't, if you turn it sideways, it doesn't look like Christmas trees. It looks like almost those sound wave
yes, I know
things, do you know?
Yeah.
It's just looking at things, seeing what you see differently. Houses are probably going to look like houses, aren't they?
These are nice. This could be for a new home. Going on a vacation or something. Vacation? Holiday. Why say vacation? I'm UK. Holiday.
But again, you can cut them into strips and run a strip down.
Yeah, just down the edge
just
of
as
a
an
card
accent
to create
strip.
a border. Yeah.
These are softer tones, but they're just so pretty.
Really nice. And then we've got Jim's jumper pattern, so to speak. Also in the 4 different colorways on there.
Snowflakes.
Yeah, the snowflakes that
I had a look at those this morning. There's me off cut.
Yeah. Then we've got the mistletoe. So this is so nice, these colorways.
I love that pale blue background.
Yeah.
That's really pretty.
Is it blue it's a really
or is
it
subtle
green?
Well, it's almost aqua. How about that?
Aqua, okay. I was thinking more mint. But
yeah,
we'll go with aqua. Okay.
But they're nice soft colours, so they doesn't scream Christmas at you.
No, not at all. Then we have our poinsettias. Which way do you go? Again, you've got those strip elements to them as well, haven't you? And
they look like Linda's poinsettias out of one of the Christmas sets.
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
So you've got, there are stamp sets you can mix in with them.
Mix to match to coordinate, yeah. Then we have our holly. Again, depending on the way that you look at it, that goes that way, but then it goes that way and it looks different. It's got like a diagonal offset, isn't it?
Yeah, as the berries run down slightly, yeah. But again, that would cut into strips as an accent strip on your card. That would go with this month's Craft Club stamp as well, which is that holly.
Oh, the holly swag. So there's that one there. I think, didn't Jane use one of those papers in the project?
I can't remember.
I've got it downstairs. I shall have it.
And then the wreaths. And these are the wreaths out of the Christmas wreath set. One of the wreaths.
I know you like
the smaller image.
The build a wreath, build a bauble.
Yeah.
And you've got the
But you get the
wreath.
4 wreaths with the Merry Christmas sentiment.
Yes.
And that is that image.
Yeah.
But smaller than the stamp.
Nice. So you've got a real nice sort of selection. Now, I was talking rubbish when I said I thought Jane used one of these. It must have been another piece of artwork I've seen. So if you're interested in these, I've messed up all Debbie's papers now. So if you're, there we go. Deb's just going to tidy up. So if you want to take advantage of the Grey Friday sale, then the item number for this is 31713. I think these are normally about $10.99. So you've got your Grey Friday discount on there as well, and your Clarity Craft Club discount if you're in the clubs. Okay, so let's carry it. Ooh, there we go. Ray.
I don't know what Norman had been having over lunch, but he's gone a bit squiffy.
He's gone a bit squiffy. Let's maybe leave that in the corner for our friends at home.
I'm so sorry about this camera, friends, and I tend to move things too fast. So let's have a look at this and just how you can do something quick and easy. I always say quick and easy, and then it takes me off the show.
But I think it's a process, isn't it? So once you know the process, as I say, you've got an evening where you could just cut out a load of these, colour them in, and then have an evening of assembly.
Indeed. So we talked about die cutting earlier.
Yes.
And in the 10 o'clock show.
Uh-huh.
I've got lots of bits of scrap card. These are great because they're only small, so you can always find a bit of scrap. You don't need to break into a new
pack
sheet
that
of
you
card.
may have bought in the Grey Friday sale.
Yeah, you can keep that for stroking and use that one of your scraps. Does anybody else sit at home and stroke their papers?
I'm sure
Answers
many
on a
of us do.
postcard.
Yeah. Oh.
It's like, it's too nice to cut up. I'm not going to cut it up.
That's why it's sometimes, especially with like our designer and companion papers, you've got 4 sheets of the same design or colorway. So you can keep one to stroke and then use the other 3.
Yeah.
That's why there's.
I did know somebody who used to would always buy 2 packs so they could keep one. I was like, really? I mean, we won't quibble with the buying 2 packs.
Don't
obviously.
need to give away my secrets, Deb. Live on TV. Look at that. The detail on that stamp. I'm just going to bring that into that side camera so we can really have a look at the detail. So if I come in on this one, there we go. Hang on. Let's try it on the. I can come up on the overhead with a little bit more control. He says, "Hang on,
go on, focus,
go
focus,
on, focus."
It doesn't like it, does it?
Doesn't like white card. Okay,
no.
We'll try on.
Sorry, friends.
This one. There we go.
There we go.
Look at that. The detail in his hat is crazy. And this is the same if you've gone for the groovy as well. The detail in the groovy plates is still there. Oh, look, he's got a little love heart on his smock. Gives it like a little dot matrix love heart.
Oh, yeah.
See? There you go. Okay.
Right. So do that, and then here's the dies. I've got one I cut earlier, but let me just show you how easily these line up to sit around that perfectly.
Yeah.
Bit of masking tape down and then run it through.
I'm going to try and zoom in. We may have a little bit more control. I'm just going to reach it around you, so to speak. And let's see if I come in.
Bear with us, friends, while we just adapt this.
If I come into about, I reckon about, oh, everyone's sort of now falling off their chair because I've gone like yo-yo. There we go. How about that?
Lovely. So yeah, all I would do is line that up. Some people will die cut first and then stamp on the card, but I personally find it harder to line up. I'm better just to stamp first and then line my die up around it.
And how would you attach that die to stop moving while you run it through?
Low-tack tape.
Low-tack tape, which happens.
Have I mentioned that before,
You
Paul?
did seem to go through a lot of that. So if you want a pack of 4 of our Clarity low-tack masking tape, the item number for that is 31212. In the Grey Friday sale, so definitely worth stocking up on that.
Yeah, I just stick him down like that, run it through my die cutting machine. And then he's done. And then he'll pop out the other side.
Does he?
Yeah.
It's clever like
helpful.
That.
It's not quite as traumatic as giving birth.
I can't take your word for that. Too much information.
Perfect little die cut. So here's one I did earlier.
No, he looks a little bit more grumpier for some reason.
Yeah, he's at an angle, so he's different. So this is Norbert.
Oh,
that's
right.
Here's and here's Norbert.
Oh, it's a different.
It's a different
gnome.
Such. I've coloured him differently anyway.
Nobody would know that.
Oh.
And look, his little hand coming over the top.
I just love the little details.
Yeah.
In these, and actually, that's why I love colouring them. Because when you're pencil shading, you actually look right in and you get to notice and spot all the detail in the patterning as you're colouring it.
And that really shows like the quality of the stamps that when you're stamping that out. Because if I'm going to try and bring this one up to the overhead, because you can definitely see that sort of like Nordic inspired sort of dot matrix heart in the middle of his little smock there. There we go. So we'll bring that down slowly. There we go.
Yeah, no sudden movements.
No sudden movements. Yeah, we'll try that, see what happens.
So that's most of the work.
Yes.
For the card.
Okay.
So I've just taken one of the 3.5-inch square pieces of stencil card. Perfect. Don't need to be cutting it.
Well, Also in the Grey Friday set.
Very good. I've realised I don't have my tape runner.
You don't have a
hand.
tape runner. I
What
think
have I
you
done with it?
definitely
I
need
bought
to
one.
go shopping, Deborah. You seem to be running out of low-tack tape.
Do we happen to be having?
You seem
Do we
be,
happen
like,
to have one
running
about the
out
building
of
pool?
our Clarity
So sorry.
roller
Thank
tape
you.
runners. Now, if you want a set of 4 of these to put into your basket, the item number is 31146. If you want to go for 1, why would you go for 1? Item number 31065. Okay, so we have a question. Would the alphabet or the mini quotes fit within the wreaths in the Christmas papers? Oh, and we're going a little bit fuzzy.
Fit within the wreaths, the mini sentiments.
I reckon
would.
they will.
Yeah, they will.
Let's go to that side camera there. There we go.
I don't know how long you've had this one, Paul.
Oh, that looks as if that one's run out. I need to go shopping as well. Let me just check my little stash round the back. I'm sure we have. I tell you what, look.
Do you know what, friends? This is real life, isn't it?
Okay, I'm going to take one out
You're
of
going
the
to crack one
shop
open.
on the back. Okay.
Because we can.
For the sake of demonstration purposes, I just need to remember to replace it. There we go. Now, there's several great things about these tape runners. I don't know if we can just show these off, the beauty of them, if it will come back. There we go.
There we go.
Okay, so they're ergonomically designed. They've got ridges across the top, so they sit comfortably, as demonstrated by Deborah here in her hand. Then the key thing, I know one of the things but this little flap. So you push that back while you're working, and then when you're finished, you just cover up the sticky end. Because often with tape runners, what happens is they have a little end to them. You take the cap off, falls on the floor, and then you tread on it, and then you can't cover it up. So
or the cat's been sat on your craft mat, and you've got cat hairs all over
So
it.
there we go. And each of these rolls have 30 meters or 98 feet. And for a set of 4 of those, oh, there goes the boy racers outside. Item number 31146.
Okay. So I've just cut a strip of the Christmas paper.
Yeah.
Quick bit of tape on the back, and then I've stuck it across here.
Yeah.
I deliberately left it longer.
Right.
Because I think it's easier to then trim it to in line with the side of your card, rather than try and cut it to the exact length beforehand and then discover you've got a millimetre gap at one side.
And then you've got to cut your white card down.
Yeah, and then you're into, and by the time you've finished, your card's 2 centimetres square.
Perfect. Okay, so this is the 3.5 by 3.5 card stock that Deb's using.
Yes, and I find it easiest when I do this to do it from the reverse.
Okay.
Because I can see the edge of my stencil card here.
Oh,
if I go that way, I'm kind of, I'm in there, but I'm guessing.
Sort of not cutting blind, but yeah, definitely.
Whereas this way, I can butt my scissors against the edge of the stencil card and then just go straight down the edge. Like that.
Nice. Or if you've got one of our Japanese craft knives.
Oh, yes, that would work.
Rulers,
with a ruler, that would work perfectly.
That would work really lovely. See, I'm more of a knife person. That sounds so wrong.
It does, doesn't it?
But yeah, definitely for a knife. And it's got that precision blade to it as well. So if you just search for craft knife on the website, you'll be able to find that. I've got a set here. See if I've got the item code. I'm sure Jilly will pop a code up. But just search for craft knife on the website, and that will come up. Excuse all the rustling. I'm just going to answer that question by unpacking
Paul's opening packets.
Those stamps just to show that they work with the backing papers. Yes, they do. So when Deb's finished, we'll have a look at those.
We can have a look at that.
Okay. So you're now matting and layering.
I am, but
are you using some of our lovely companion papers?
I am. And so I've got my hand on this. Sorry, I was going to say, I always find it really helpful to have a contrast colour behind. So if I'm matting onto a dark colour, I'll have white underneath it.
Yeah.
Because I can clearly see the edge of the card
The
or
edging
paper.
on that. Yeah.
And stand a chance of getting it down straight. Whereas if you see here, if I do it against the black, I can see it, but it's not as well defined as if I'm against the white. Whereas if I've got white as the outer edge, I'd have it against probably my black craft mat rather than on a piece of white paper.
Okay, so you, there we go. You have used Northern Lights companion paper, which is item number 31664.
But what I used, and I've now lost, so for this green one is the little 4x4. They are perfect with the 3.5-inch stencil card.
Do you think we designed them that way? Do you reckon?
Luck or judgment, eh? Luck or judgment.
So if you search for companion on the website, it will bring up the 8x8s, it will bring up the 4x4s, and it will all bring up the little swatches as well.
Okay. So this can go on here.
Yeah.
The little 4x4s are still the double-sided
ones. Yeah. And the 8x8s are now single-sided.
Yes.
And we have 8 different options in the companion papers. We have Shenandoah, Amazonia, Indian Summer, Northern Lights, Rainbow River, Antarctica, Toscana, and Waimea Falls.
Just showing off now.
They're on the shelf. I was just reading them off the shelf.
Actually, another tip with the tape runner is not to go too quickly, which allows the tape time to flow. If you whiz across really quickly, you'll get patchy tape out. And then as you come down, I saw you do this, tip it forwards, and that'll break the tape rather than otherwise you can pull up and you get all
gunky,
gooey bits coming up. Okay. So that's my background.
I know that's really, I just like that as it is.
I know, but you know what I've done?
What have you done? Oh, we've got a card for a left-handed person.
I've stuck it on upside down. Never mind. We don't tell anybody, friends.
That
will teach me to pay attention.
It's a left-handed opening card.
And that is because
my fault.
Well, it's my fault. What I did, because I had this on the card as the background to turn it, I didn't check I'd got my card back round to the starting position.
I wonder, I'll let you talk about these lovely Christmas papers, which is the item number 31713. Here are those little mini
let's
sentiments.
have a look. I've got a mini mount
there. So just overlay them just to show that they fit. So, and then
there we go, from ours to yours.
Okay, so I think we're fine on the zooming in.
These are all fine. So they sit beautifully.
Okay.
I might have a go with that over the next couple of days.
And then you've got the letterbox alphabet on there.
So this is an open letters. If you can see, they're not
these
solid.
Come with the elves. So
these are the elves ones.
To colour in.
Yeah. And yes, they will sit beautifully there as well. So I'm also wondering whether the little circle dice will cut these wreaths out as well. If you wanted a series of circles.
Yeah, potentially.
You might have to sacrifice a couple.
Yeah,
depending on how.
Will. But yeah, I mean, even if you know how you said if you turn the paper that way.
Yeah.
How you've got a row.
So actually, you might lose that part of the intervening row, but you could do that. I'm going to have a go with that over the weekend, I think.
So the companion papers obviously are in the Grey Friday sale with 30% off. So it means you're only going to pay £9.09 plus your Clarity Craft discounts as well. Now, whilst Debs was answering that question from our friends at home, one of the benefits of our Clarity tape is that you can still lift it off. Okay, even though Deb's applied the pressure, just check your card blank again.
Yeah.
You can still remove it, and then after about 5-10 minutes, you've got no chance of removing it. So there we go. So I rescued that left-handed opening card. So there's always a way around it. And
of course, if all else fails,
you just cut
that off and turn it into a topper on another card blank, and then you've got half a card blank to use as well as another topper.
Absolutely.
So we've got
So is this Norman or Norbert or?
I think this is Norbert. That's
Norbert.
Norman.
Okay.
Stick with the program.
Okay. Oh, told me. Okay. Naughty gnomes, naughty Debs.
Actually, there's one other thing I wanted to say about the stamps and dies.
Yeah.
Which is helpfully, Clarity being the quality company they are, the dies are in the same order as the stamps on the stamp sheet.
That's handy then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I remember when we first launched the
Or they are if I've got my stamps the right way up.
With the gnomes and the elves. And I cut out a load of just white card blanks because I cut out first and then stamped afterwards.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I had all these white pieces of outline, weird looking card, and I'm thinking, which one goes with which? And so then I had the process of then laying it over the die so I knew exactly which design to go for.
Okay, so I thought we'd just add, as we've got ho 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 on the paper, there's one of these little stamps is a ho ho ho.
And would you be using a little mini mounts to stamp with those?
Yeah, it's really helpful, you know, to get the right size mount for your stamp.
Yeah. And the mini mounts, the item number for those is 30000.
That's easy to remember.
It's a nice number, isn't it?
Yeah, so these are perfect for these little stamps. Whereas if I was to use a bigger one, let's have him off there, just for demonstration purposes. If I put it on this bigger one, this is where you're going to need one of Barb's anti-wobble devices because it's going to move.
AKA another stamp.
Yes. Whereas if I drop that on there, this is where it sticks to my fingers.
Yeah.
I'll sort it out in a minute. And pick it up there. Because I haven't got the amount of space around on the mount. Look, it's not wobbling all over the place.
Okay. So then you're going to ink up your stamp. Do you go, okay, so you go take the ink pad to the stamp?
Yeah, sometimes if I've got a smaller stamp, I will just do that with it when it's out on my craft desk, especially if I'm batch making and doing a load at the same time. It's just easier to go.
Yeah.
I do like this little fella.
I think, so you've got the options of going for the gnomes, the elves, and also the penguins. And it's the same concept. It is just the characters that change. Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho.
There we go.
With his paper. There we go, go, go.
Go, go, go. And doesn't it look different with the different colour?
Just the different colour.
Those Christmas papers. Yeah, I really like those.
What I do as well, which I talked about earlier, is I just pop a bit of scrap card on the back
to lift it
just
up a little.
Chop a bit. He just lifts him off the page.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so if I have a little bit of a recap,
and I'll.
That was a quick demo. We're already at quarter to
my
the hour.
days.
I know. I've always said you was quick, Debs.
You talk too much.
Right. Me. Okay. Let's have a look while Debs is having a clear up on here. So on the screen we have the item number 21155, and this is Barbara's elves, letterboxes, billboards, and ABC A5 stamp and die collection. The saving is £38.98, and what you'll pay if you're not in any of our craft clubs is £58.46. Okay, then we've also got, I'll have to come back to full camera on this one while Debs is getting all bits and pieces together. And then if you're interested in the Feel Good Gnomes collection, the item number for that is 21151. And if you love our little penguins, then the item number for that is 21172. However, the biggest saving, if you're into your stamps, your die cutting, and your groovy, because we know many of our friends at home are, then if you want the complete collection, then for the elves, the item number is 21156. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then for the gnomes is 21152. And finally, the penguins, which is, yeah, I got it right this time, Debs. 21173. Okay. So we're playing with the elves again.
We are.
Okay.
Letterbox elves. So we kind of did billboards in the
Yes.
10 a.m. show and letterboxes in this show.
Yeah. Perfect. I'm going to give you your piece of paper.
Oh, is that my piece of paper?
I took it from your.
Oh, okay. That's very honest of you.
Okay. So where do we start on this one?
Right. It's actually quite simple. Again, no layering on this. I haven't die cut the letterboxes this time.
Okay.
I just thought it's fun, just a bit more masking, looking at how the masks work for the letterboxes.
Yeah.
And a bit of ink blending on a sky.
Okay.
What I worked out with this, because I prepped this a couple of weeks ago before the open days. But of course, we now have the new 6x6 landscape masks.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and you could do this with one of those.
Oh, of course.
But I used Barbara's technique from the craft along for it that she did a little while with that, with the plate.
Oh, the dinner plate.
The dinner plate. So literally drew round a plate, the edge of a plate.
Yeah.
This is just copy paper.
Uh-huh.
And then cut it with scissors. And it gives me that lovely curved hill. Bob did it with the trees and then the reflection trees.
Yes.
With it, but it works for lots of other scenes as well.
Yeah.
And those craft alongs you can go back and watch on the website.
You can indeed, yeah,
as well.
Definitely.
But let's start with the letterboxes.
Okay. So when you're sort of when you're deciding on what word you want to spell out, how do you go about that for your building up of your letterboxes?
So if you, good point. If you look at the stamps, let me just get a piece of paper under here so we can just see them a bit better.
We can see which one's Deb's favourites, can't we?
See which ones I've used. Thank you. Subtle. Work out what your word is. You have a range of double and single letterboxes.
Yeah.
So he's got 2. This is Elvis, isn't it? Elvis the Elf.
I think
Miss
it might
Elf.
be. Yeah.
But I don't know what the kid's called. And work out how many letters you've got, and then where it best sits.
Yeah. Okay.
And it can be useful just to stamp it out.
Stamp it out onto some copy paper.
Work out what you're doing.
Composition.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I also like these 2 here at the bottom.
These little ones.
Yeah. If we just slide it up. These little
singles.
ones. These are great little
really handy
infills,
fillers.
aren't they? Yeah. I like those.
So I decided to put happy.
Yeah.
And then the Christmas is from the gnome billboard.
Oh yes.
Set. Yeah. So they all mix and match in together. And then it's a case of deciding how you want it. So I put the 2 littlies in the middle.
Yeah.
So that you've kind of got that, and it sort of follows the curve of the sky a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okie doke.
The next trick is how on earth do you get them straight?
Is there a technical way of doing this?
Well, this is what works for me.
Okay.
Which is, I don't want that. I can't find my. I won't go that way. He'll work like that. I'm going to have to do this sideways.
Okay.
What did I say about having the right size mount?
The right size.
For your work?
You'll find
it's
it
here
when
somewhere.
we're clearing away.
Yeah. Not to fret.
Deborah Wheeler. More low-tack tape.
There's 2 ways you can do this. You can draw a pencil line, but I use a strip of low-tack tape because I can never get the pencil rubbed out properly on my card.
No,
maybe
totally
I'm just a bit heavy-handed.
Yeah, I totally get that.
And I kind of work out the trick with these letterboxes is actually you need to stamp them a bit lower than you think.
Right.
Because you've got all this above here. So if I was to stamp it kind of up here, my elves would be right up in the sky. So you just need to make sure you're down well enough.
Okay, so the elves, we have Elvis the elf, we have Miss Elf,
Yeah.
and then we have the children, Elfie and Evie.
Ah, Elfie and Evie.
Elfie and Evie. There we go.
Is that a message from Barb?
No, it's from Jilly.
Okay. Thank you, Jilly.
So, yeah, that's great. So more low tack masking tape.
Yeah.
Item number 31212. Deborah definitely will be buying a pack of 4.
I promise.
With the amount that she goes through.
It's just really useful because then it just peels straight off again.
It does indeed.
And actually, I can use this more than once. It's only the embedders where I make sure I've got a new piece so they don't move.
Yes, and it hasn't got any residue of anything else on it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So I can see the edge of my masking tape on the card, and what I tend to do is line up the edge of my stamp, not try and line the image up on it. If you look at the stamps, they've got an edge round them
over there.
There we go. So the edge of the image is not the edge of the stamp.
Yes.
So I tend to use the edge of the stamp.
Right. Okay.
For lining up.
You're lining up.
Yeah. It's more. I find that more accurate for this than trying to line up the edge of my image for perfect positioning.
Perfect positioning. Okay. Let's stick to this camera here. I think it's a nice angle.
I'm going to have to stamp him sideways because
because you haven't got the right mount.
I haven't got the right mount. The
and
moral
I'm
of the
sure
story
if you check the claritycraft.com website and search for our mounts, you'll find one that will fit perfectly. Okay.
So if you can see, I'm lining that with my masking tape.
With your head. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll go back to yes. See that? Get back to that camera.
The other thing I tend to do to get them evenly spaced is stamp my outer ones first.
Yes.
And then pop my middle ones in.
Yeah, Barb often does that when spelling out a word.
Yep.
Start from the outside and work your way in. Yeah, definitely. Okay, let's have a look at that
It's not the best inking, but
I think Deborah needs to add to her shopping basket a new black archival ink pad.
Oh, I've just found my tape runner as well. What, like this one?
Oh, Deborah's been in the sale already. That was quick delivery. Okay. I mean, sometimes you need an archival that is slightly older for different stamping techniques, don't you?
Or if you're, you just want to sponge or brush a bit in just to darken your colour, then it's helpful to have one that's not so juicy.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's go with this new one and you'll see the difference.
Okay, I'm going to come in on that camera.
Come over.
There we go.
So you can see.
That's right, you just ink that one up. So with archival, it's a quick drying ink.
It is. So that's why it's really helpful to have your guideline down.
Yes.
Whether you choose to go pencil or masking tape.
Yeah.
Because then you can go straight down where you need to.
Yeah, I mean, I know back in the day.
Oh, look, that's so much better.
Let's have a look on the overhead on that one.
Yes. See the difference in the quality.
Older ink pad, newer ink pad.
I
would always do copy paper and I would just stamp it out roughly, whether it stamped out completely or not, just to get a rough idea. And so I was sort of more, excuse me, I would stamp it out on copy paper and then work out what size piece of card I needed, rather than have a piece of card and then do it that way.
Totally agree.
That's the way that I've always done that.
And if it's too long, choose a shorter word.
Yeah.
Now, the littlest, this is Elfie. You need to make sure that his feet are level. The danger is you start to look and try to level up your letterbox.
Oh, yes.
But
so
actually, it's his feet.
Yes.
Oh, you can't see because my hand's in the way. It's his feet that need to be level.
Not the letterbox.
Not the letterbox.
No.
Yeah, because the danger is you kind of start to stamp him like that, and then he's leaning at a slightly unsavoury angle. Yeah.
There we go. Definitely a new ink pad definitely does make a difference.
Such a difference. What's the moral of the story, Deborah? Check your ink pad.
So
And the same with Evie. Make sure that her feet are flat on the ground. I haven't bothered masking them at this point because
I suppose it depends on the sentiment, doesn't
yeah,
it?
and the girl's hair, look, it's kind of touching. It hasn't really overlapped.
No.
So I've got away. If they were closer together,
yeah,
I'd need to mask them as I went along, as I was stamping.
So because
if they had, like, if I needed another, if I wanted to put another letter in there, which I've probably got a bit of room to do, I'd have to overlap them.
Yes.
And at that point, you stamp your first ones, put your masks on, and then stamp your next ones behind, so they sit behind. Yeah.
Okay. So you've now sort of done all your stamping of your lovely little character, and as we said before, that what you can do, Deborah's doing this with the elves. You could do this with the gnomes, and you could do this with the penguins, because when you look at the design sets, they've all got that same sort of letterbox angle. So you'll have little small characters where they're off at a jaunty angle, and so as Deborah said, you need to look at the feet for their positioning. Don't look at the letterboxes, because they'll obviously be banging heads. Okay.
Look like they're about to fall over. Okay, so my days of watching Blue Peter as a child. Here's one I prepared earlier. So what I've done, I've got the elves stamped.
Yeah.
I've coloured them.
Yeah.
With pergoliners, and I've started masking them off.
Right.
So I just thought I'd just add Elfie in.
Yeah. So do you always colour in your characters first?
Not always, no.
Okay.
I did this
just for demonstration purposes.
For demonstration purposes. Yeah. Do you remember that baked beans ad, Heinz baked beans advert? What's a demonstration, Barry?
No.
No, never mind. You're not old enough. Sorry.
I'm sure we're similar ages.
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay. Now, moving on.
Moving on. So this is where, sorry, I was going to say, this is where our lovely tweezers would come into play.
Yeah.
That we have on the website as well.
He's gone bang on. What's really helpful, I find, is because the image is printed on the mask.
Yes.
You can line it up, and so the image will come into focus as you get it on the right.
The lower
if it's
you
slightly
go down.
off, if you're slightly off, it'll look blurry because your lines aren't lines up.
Yeah.
Which is how you can line that up. It's a bit trickier if it's one you've cut yourself.
Yeah.
But actually, because they're printed, so I lined up the letterbox on this, and then his feet and head dropped into place beautifully, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I've added a moon mask.
Right. Okay.
As well.
So you'll find our moon masks on the show. Let me have a look. See the moon mask. The item number is 30782. Okay.
Right. So I'm going to use Barbara's plate technique.
Yeah.
Where did that bit of masking tape go that I just had? I just had a length and I took it
No,
off.
No, it disappeared, Deb. You need to use another piece.
I'm just, because this paper obviously is not adhesive like the clarity masks.
Yeah.
And it's wider than the card. How am I going to stick it down? I can't put tape there.
No.
Unless I want a tape line in the sky.
Yeah.
Which is probably not the plan. So I'm going to tape my card.
Yeah.
To this. But I'll reuse that piece of tape. I'd just like you to know that.
Do you know that there's another option as well?
Go on.
You could buy the A5 blank mask material
and make a permanent one of these.
Make a permanent one.
You could.
If you like this lovely curve from a dinner plate, then if you use our A5 blank mask material, then which Deborah used during the earlier show, so the item number is 30363. Then if you like this and you know you're going to keep doing it again and again, you don't want to keep getting your dinner plate out of the cupboard, drawing another curve. You would then have a permanent curve mask.
So I've got that all masked off other than the sky now.
Yeah.
So now I can just blend in colours into the sky. Yeah, I went with blue and purple on this one. Let's have a look, see how we go.
So the stencil brushes are on pre-order. They're currently on the water. The item number for the stencil brushes is 30363. 006. I think we're building a little shopping cart for Deborah here, because Deborah doesn't have enough stencil brushes. She could always do. She could always do some more. Oh, what have you done to the gnome?
Oh, he's fallen over. He's lying down in despair. There you go. You don't need flowers on your craft desk. Just get a bouquet of stencil brushes. The only thing I'd say about stencil brushes is don't you need different ones for the if you're using the oxides than you do for the distress inks or artistry inks, because the oxides are chalky.
Yeah.
And if you've used them for oxides, and then put distress inks through them, you'll get a bit of the chalkiness coming through.
Oh, right, okay. There we go. Perfect reason to buy some more stencil brushes if you like both the oxides and your normal dye-based ink pad.
And to be honest, part of the reason, if somebody's going to ask why you're using oxides this time, Deb, and rather than inks, it's about what colours I've got.
Why are you using oxides, Deb, instead of using dye-based inks?
I'm going to be brutally honest. It's about what colours I've got in my stash.
I don't know. I think, Debs, when you get home, when you finally get across the Thames in this lovely weather, I think you need to go to claritycrafts.com.
At least I'm going back through the tunnel, which hopefully won't have flooded.
I know when we used to go up to Peterborough all the time, it's one of those things you drive through it and it goes through your head and you think, what happens if a crack appeared?
Listen, the first time we went on the shuttle to France, took the car. Sorry, I was waving my hand around over this. With the kids, my eldest son, who has a fairly vivid imagination, had been fretting about what happened if we were underwater and it started to leak. So you drive onto the train. If anybody's done it, they'll know this. You drive onto the train, which is an amazing experience, driving down onto a railway platform and driving your car onto a train.
Yeah.
And we're parked up. You have to have your windows down. So we're sat waiting, ready to depart. He must have been about 8 at the time. And suddenly I heard this voice out the back, Mum, I can hear water. I can hear water. I'm like, what are you talking about? I can definitely hear water, Mum. It's not safe. I can hear water. We were parked next to the toilets. And somebody had flushed it. But honestly, he was nearly climbing out of his seat. He was like, no.
So you're building up your layers of
colours. I'm blending dark blue and purple. Which is quite a nice blend. And I'm doing what I said was the best thing to do, which is put the lid on one colour before you open another. So you don't oh gosh, it's 3:05 already.
I know. It does. It really does fly, doesn't it?
It's because we're enjoying ourselves.
Are we?
Thanks. It's nice, isn't it? Nice to know who your friends are.
We're all friends here at Clarity Towers. And we've got a lovely sort of community out there
brilliant.
As well.
It's so lovely.
You've got Clarity Worldwide, Groovy Worldwide over on Facebook. You've got the various blogs, barbaragrayblog.com, the Clarity Matters blog as well. Oops,
I'm so sorry. Right, let's go on here. Okay. So I haven't got so much white.
There we go.
That's it. Right, let's get rid of that. Save that for later. Okay, so then you can just start to lift your mask. While I kept the masks on this one, and I'll just show you quickly and talk it through. With the masks on, just a bit of torn paper, and I sponged some, I think this is speckled egg probably, across just to pop in some snowdrift.
So you did that with our spot-on sponges.
I did.
Which is item number 31215 for a pack of 4. That gives you 64 of those spot-on sponges.
Yeah, and that's just have we got time to do it?
Yeah, we can give that a go. Okay, so a little bit of torn paper.
Just torn paper, which is really nice because it just gives you that. Oh, that's no good.
Sort of like a drift look, doesn't it?
Yeah, you don't want a hard line for this.
No. Do you know, one of the hardest over the years of working with Barb at the various workshops and stuff, tearing a piece of paper can really, there is a certain way to tear the paper to get your torn heels and everything else. It's all to do with the grain of the paper, isn't it?
Yeah, the way the fibres run.
Okay, so you're using some of those lovely spot-on sponges.
I am.
Item number 31215 for 4 packs.
Just ball it up into a mushroom.
Yeah.
Let's see that. Let me come over a bit. Line it so literally you can just see the bottom.
The little tootsies.
And the little feet, little toes, and just the very bottom of your letterbox. You don't want it up here.
No.
Well, you could do, but it'll look like they're absolutely buried in a snowdrift.
I suppose it depends on your colouring.
And then I just stroke it. Start on the paper.
Yeah.
And then come off onto your card.
Yeah. Because if you go direct onto your card, you're likely to get a
bit of a splodge. Although, if you do, provided you're quick, turn your sponge over, get a clean side to it, and then smooth it out, and you can
try
soften
and
it.
lift it. Yeah.
There we go. Oh, sorry, let me get my hand out of the way.
That's it. Very soft.
So you can just see that's soft, and then I would just add a few more in.
Yeah.
Randomly along here.
So should we have the reveal?
Should we have the reveal,
and then we can talk through the rest of the demo?
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. So let's have that moon off.
Look at that. All of a sudden, by taking that moon away, the mask, it changes it completely, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's that white contrast, real contrast.
And I suppose the darker you go in your sky, as Barb often said, the darker you go, the more it's going to stand out, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'd always try and put my masks straight back on my carrier sheet.
Yeah.
I tend to use a dressmaker's pin for lifting them because I can't always get. They're so thin, the masks. It can be difficult to get purchase and peel them off.
Yeah, I go there.
So I like these pins that have got
heads on them.
The bobble on the end.
See, the nearest thing that I've got to like that is the Pergamon one needle tool.
Oh, yes.
It has so many uses, not just for your parchment craft. A one needle Pergamano tool.
Here we go.
It doesn't make any. For something like this, it doesn't matter whether it's the fine or the bold. And this is where you have to be really careful because of the delicateness.
Yes, lifting her from her head. If I just pulled, you could tear it over her shoulders.
And you don't want to decapitate the little elf mask, do you?
It doesn't look, not on live TV anyway.
No.
Right, there we go. And then I would just a bit of damp kitchen towel.
Yeah, like
spritz it with water and then just wipe over them, and that'll just take that ink straight off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there we are. There's my little scene.
There's your little scene. You've definitely created a scene today, Deborah.
I've created a mess. Just as well, you can only see this bit, friends, because it's like a bit of a craftermath going on here.
Craftermath. Okay.
So I cut a mount for them using one of the nested doodle dies. This is the dots one because I thought it picked up the moon.
So the item number for that particular die is 31386, and we were showcasing those. I believe it was on Monday. Yesterday we were showcasing the circular versions of those as well.
Yeah, they're good.
So if we just find that particular one just so our friends at home can see. So this is your nested square dots. Doodle frames and panels. I'll just zoom out a little bit now. I'm just going to
then
reach the bar.
So these are actually all separate dies.
There we go.
And if you just cut with one of them, then you'll get a panel like this.
Yeah.
But if I was then to use the next one down, which I think might be this one.
There we go. So you can see what this will do. It will give you all of if you cut them out individually, as Deb said. I'm just going to lean in, Deb.
Sorry, you've got the panels.
You can see that you've got all these panels in all these sizes. And if you introduce another one, a smaller one, what it does
like this
is it then gives you what we call your floppy bits.
Yeah.
Like so.
So it gives you frames.
Yes.
That you can use. Yeah. Which is nice for if you don't know about anybody else, but sometimes I'll go, oh, I should have added a frame to that.
Yeah.
You can cut one out and then add it afterwards and layer it on top. Whereas these are your starter panels.
Yes. So you get all of those size. So the item number for that particular design is 31386. And then you've also got choices of the film strip, you've got the hearts, and you've also got the chevron as well.
Really useful. I use these a lot now, a lot more than I thought I would, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting because yesterday I was doing using some of our lovely Christmas fresh cut rounds, and we often forget that we've got the doodle die panels in circular form as well. And I mean, I can imagine just cutting that out as a circle. So you use one of the nested circles to create your circle, and then use the circular doodle frame. It's paneled and frames die set.
So in terms of finishing, all I did was stamp the letters into the boxes and colour them, because I used the elf ones. If you wanted solid letters in there, then that's the gnomes alphabet. And then added one of the, this is from, as I said earlier, from the gnome billboard.
As well.
And that's it.
Really,
but it's
really
the impact of that sky, I think, does it.
Yeah.
And I love that curve, using a plate to do the outline for your maps.
Yeah.
So you're right, you could do that with the
blank mass material. Yeah, absolutely. Wow.
Whew.
That's another hour.
Another overrun. Hour and a quarter.
I know. We've still got our lovely friends in the room. So thank you very much for joining us again for another episode of Clarity Social TV.
Yeah.
If you missed this morning's show at 10 o'clock, if you want to see what Deborah got up to with the elves and the gnomes, then you can go to the claritycrafts.com website, click on the little blue Clarity TV, click on the catch up, and then you'll be able to go back and watch. Alternatively, you can go to the Clarity Craft YouTube channel, and there's a full history on there as well. So, where are we now? We are Wednesday, aren't we?
Yes.
So tomorrow evening, we're back in the shack at 7 p.m. with Barb. So make sure to tune in for that. Barb's continuing with the alphabet and N for nativity.
Yeah. Very timely.
It was Mary, Joseph, and Jesus. Barb was
I saw that Monday morning.
On Monday. So that's on Thursday evening. And then we're back with 2 more episodes of Clarity Social TV on Friday at 10 and 2. Because we do Monday 10 and 2, Tuesday 10 and 2, and then Friday 10 and 2. So this is like a bonus to have Debs in on a Wednesday. Then on Saturday, many of you have signed up to Barbara's online workshop, the Viaduct Collage project. That's the second of the trilogy. So that will be taking place on Saturday afternoon. And then on Sunday, believe it or not, it's the 1st of December.
It is.
So that means it's the first Sunday of the month. So Barb and I will be back with you on Sunday from 3 till 5. And I think it might be a little bit nutty on Sunday.
So I heard.
I mean,
I had great fun.
We're always nutty anyway.
With the design team samples for that. Looking forward to that.
So I hope you can join us on some of our upcoming Clarity Social TVs. Enjoy the rest of your day. Don't forget, if you've missed any of the previous episodes, just go to theclaritycrafts.com. If you've got any questions, over on our Facebook and Clarity Worldwide and Groovy Worldwide. And don't forget, keep sharing, spread the love of all things Clarity. So since Deborah, this will be the last time Deborah will be in this year, we'll wish Deborah a very Merry Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
Happy New Year.
I'll be around on Clarity Worldwide
I'm sure
anyway.
You will.
So happy Christmas, everybody. Enjoy the season.
Yeah. And I will see you on Friday at 10 o'clock.